Welcome back to Stationeers. And see, I do clean up cable. Also, I did clean up the other cable up there. See? Just as evidence for those who are uncertain that I ever clean cable up, I do actually get it quite nice. This is slightly annoying, but yeah, so it is more like a street light than anything else. But yeah, that's fine. Just wanted to start with that. Today we're going to take a quick break from the ICs. I know I don't want to give you integrated circuit fatigue, so I think we're going to get back on with furnace shenanigans, or rather dealing with machines. And I thought I'd try and implement the loop idea, and we'll see how far this goes. So the idea is we get rid of these, and that bit's easy enough to do. So let's just get rid of our sorters, and we'll get the kits back. And we don't need the stackers either, so we just want to pull the handles if they can be pulled, just to make sure they are cleared of anything in them. We've got some... can't really tell what that is until... Is that nickel? Nickel, some silver. Okay. Nothing excessive. So we'll just put the kits down here for now. And then we'll also rip up the stackers, because we're going to probably want something along these sort of lines anyway. And we can also reclaim some of the bits and pieces, and that will be just fine. Is it just the... yeah, it's this. So we're going to reclaim all the chutes, because we're going to be using them. And that ideally will leave things... we'll leave this about here. I think we'll probably go underground here and then go that way. So I am going to need to do a couple of things. I want to just pull this floor up. And this is going to be a buildy episode. I know I do coding episodes and miscellaneous episodes, but this one is definitely going to be a building episode, so I need to get on with it. Half an hour is not a lot of time to do this kind of thing, and we'll see how well it works. So for the inputs in here, we're going to want at least a junction here, and then yeah, we're going to want a junction on all of them, apart from the last one in the sequence, I think. Yes, apart from the last one. So a junction is straightforward. You just have to make sure we get this the right way around. We want it able to take from the bottom, because we're going to go underground with this, and then input sort of to the right. So this is exactly the way we're going to want it. And we're going to do the same thing here. And we're not going to need it here, because how this is going to work is we're going to feed in ingots from over our furnaces into the first machine, out and into the second one, out and into the third one, and then out of the back of the third one and back into the first one. Doesn't matter how many machines, just extend it as you like, so that is fine. That does mean, however, that we are going to want to just feed in probably a corner here, and then we'll have it going underground pretty much straight away from each of these. And just to aid in this being, well, looking nice, we'll just put a window there for this one, just so they're all even. Yep. Now, we can't just do that on the output, unfortunately. Now, if you're wondering why, well, if I just pull the handle on one of these machines, doesn't matter where it is, and I should probably have another way of inputting stuff into this system. So at some point, we're going to need a chute bin or something along those sort of lines. So maybe we could put it so it goes into this last machine right here, maybe. I'll have to think about that one later. But the idea is we pull the handle, and it's going to move everything into the next machine along. I've almost always found that I don't really use more than one machine at once. And if you leave these open, they'll just act as a pass-through for everything. So it'll go back around in a loop and back into the machine you're using. And you can use that to control it. So that, yeah, sort of a decent idea to start with, and we'll see how well or badly that actually works in practice. That doesn't mean I'm going to need to remove these floor pieces, but we'll get back to that. Before I get there, we can't just feed this output into that input, because not only ingots are going to come out of this, we're also going to get other things. Specifically, we'll have our products. So if we're going to do that, I think I'm just going to put windows here on each of these. because unlike the machines downstairs that occasionally get glitched, I just want to make sure that first of all I can see their outputs, and second of all we're going to want to basically control what's happening to those outputs. So we've just picked up some stuff, sorters and stackers. It's sorters that we want, and then we're going to rotate those, and that's going to annoy me because that cable can't be there. Let me just put this one in first. Hopefully that will do that. Yep. And then the same thing is going to be true here. Okay. And then this one's going to have to go elsewhere. So I'm going to need to just rework the cables a little bit. Let's put this over here temporarily. And let me see where I can just reattach this cable. It should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, and in fact there is another nice cable attachment point there. We could go sort of that way, I think, and come around this way, maybe, or maybe just go this side. Okay, let's just get that reattached and get some cable. There we go, and let's go to a junction this way. And a junction this way, and we'll be able to access it from there. What I may well do is switch this eventually to a subnetwork, but doesn't matter for the moment. I just want to make sure I leave enough room before I turn the corners. And we'll go around this way. Oh, just do the straight pieces first. It has problems deciding to get to the corners. There we go, straight pieces and corner. Snap. Okay, so now we are connected into the same thing here, so we can get rid of this entirely. And I'm going to just see what's underneath here. That's just the power for the machine. Fine. Let's get rid of you. And I probably should put these in a stack somewhere. But that will do fine. So then, where's that other machine? Did I put it on this side? Yeah. So we got another sorter. There we go. So we've got 3 sorters. And the idea here is that what we're going to want to do is, if it's ingots, we're going to want to push it one way, and if it's not ingots, i.e. anything else, we're going to push it the other way. The other way, we're going to just connect it with chutes, I think, and see where that goes. So I'm going to first of all need a computer. It's just easier than doing ICs for this until we get to a proper program for it. And I told you I was taking a break from ICs, so did I leave my computer around here? I think I did. Yes, I did. We can go and grab that. And let's just deconstruct you. And I'm not going to need the IC editor, but I will need another program. We're just going to put it here for now. Yeah, that should do. Oops. Okay, and we'll just feed directly in. Put this away. So where are you going to go? Is it a logic motherboard you need for this? I can never remember. Hang on. Let's go and quickly check. Or is it a sorting motherboard? Head downstairs. Thankfully, by the way, the devs have resorted this. Where is it? Sorter. Yeah. They've resorted the list on this filter alphabetically. They do it occasionally. Whenever they do it, everything goes fine until they start adding more things which appear at the bottom of the list again. So, yeah. But that helps to be able to find all the ores quickly. When I first did that, the ores were just not in a list at all. And I really, really had problems. So I can never remember which side of this is the actual, the whitelisted side, but we'll get to that. Let's just get all of this stuff out of the way. Yeah, you can get out of the way. I should put them in the vending machine, but let's see, do I have any spare, not cartridges, not logic? I guess we're going to have to actually make something, and it will come out one side of it. Well, is that actually on? It should come out either side of it now. Yeah, we're going to need a sorting motherboard. If you're in here, that is. Are you not? Why can't I see you? Really should be in the electroprint. Unless it's in the auto lathe, but I print this so rarely. No. Is it only via way of the well, if it's only via way of the whole fabricator, I'm just gonna nab this one down here. I can't be bothered printing another one. We want to just save them, and of course this doesn't need to be on to do its job, so we can just borrow it, I think. Although I'm not sure whether the actual recipe lists are stored on the motherboard or on the computer. So let's see what happens if I plug it into this computer. Will it give me the same things or not? Nope. Good. So it is seeing, well, it's not seeing all the things that we want it to just yet. I'm going to need to hook this to here and here as well. But in the meantime, we've got sorting available. So, first of all, we should just rename things, and then we can try and test. So, let's rename this sorter as the electro sorter. We're not going to have a different setup for each of these. They're all going to have the same setup, but in the short term, I just want to be able to select on this. So, if I want something, let's say I want, I don't know, what's, just say some cable coil or something like that. I really would like to be able to just type to actually get stuff. In fact, trying to find something in here is getting worse and worse. It really needs a new implementation on the user interface for the computers, really. I need something that is definitely going to come out of that isn't too expensive. You can see just how ridiculous this problem is getting now, and there's not really any other way to get that sorted. Let me just set this up 1 second. Actually, had a bit of a think. We're going to do this the other way around. We're going to actually sort ingots, because there isn't like a meta type that we can use, or a pseudotype for ingots. So I've just set that there in the whitelist. So if we have ingots in this machine, we should be able to pull that out using our sorters rather than pulling everything else but ingots out. Okay, so where have I got some? So is that counted as an ingot? Ingot solder. Okay, do we have anything in? I've got some silicon in there. So if I pull this now, all right, so whitelist is this one. I always forget which way around it is. So if we set all these to ingots now, we know that the loop is going to come from this side and not this side. Okay, so everything else, like the products of this, is going to come out of this side. So what we're going to do for that, are we going to go underground or, well, I'm going to go over the top for those, I think. So we know the products are going to come out of this door. So if we just placehold that, so I don't forget, let's put a junction corner. Yeah, corner going upwards. So I know that's our products going upwards. Everything else is going to go downwards, and that's going to be going into the loop. Now, I am, however, going to need to make a lot more chutes. I think I'm going to be a fair amount short for this, but that isn't terribly hard. Chutes are going to be in here somewhere. Let me just turn off my mouse scroll. Shoots near the top, and 1G each. Let's just build them. Now, the alternate thing you could do here, by the way, is also then think about stacking, products. But to be honest, I'm not too concerned about doing it. And in fact, are you on? You're not on. Have you stopped automatically? That's an interesting thing. You've got no power. Yes, that really helps. Let me just get some power sorted. And then we should be complete for this one as well. There we go. So out our stuff should come in the same way that they would normally. But you may want to think about stackers. And if you want to put stackers around, you can put them after this. or you can think about them sort of at the end of the whole product chain, but we'll come back to that later. He did stop making chutes because this was jammed. Well, if it can't actually take any more, then it will just stop the machine. That's a good thing to know. It's now that there's a chute in between, it's not actually getting jammed, so that's one error condition we can get rid of. And out it comes. So yeah, we've got to think about this sort of thing. I can't really put... Well, in fact, we'll probably have to remove that because we're going to have to take stuff up and over. So if we just put windows in, and we can put something like that, and then, you know, we can decide. So we put a junction or something along those lines. Depends on where we want our products. I probably want to send them that way rather than this way. So we probably want to go get our junction in. And again, switch this around until we get the right direction. There we go. That's the right way around. And that's just some chutes flying up. Yeah, it is. They don't really do very well when did some chute just... Oh, there it comes. You have to get rid of chutes quite quickly, and they go all over the place. But yeah, that's fine. So you get the idea. We're going to have a chain going back that way, and then we can just drop them in a, you know, a little bay somewhere. We just put down with forget what they're called. They're like fences, like little guardrails that you can just use to contain an area or something along those sort of lines. So I'm going to lay out a lot more of this now off camera because it's just chutes from here on outwards until we get to ICs, I think. So I'm going to have to remove each of these. Well, we could lay it out above ground. That would be easier. And then I can almost switch it back to below ground off camera between the episodes or something along those kind of lines. So I'm going to lay it out now. And when we come back, we'll see how well that works. Okay, so we're just going to finish off the last few bits of chutes. And I'm going to do that on camera. Yep, we've got those going. And I'll explain everything in a second. I do actually quite like this overhead look. I was thinking I wouldn't like it as much, but turns out it's quite nifty. So yeah, I may well go for this one for here on forwards. I do, however, need to get this installed in the right place. This has to go that way. Whoops. I wish they could make you use chutes from closer. It'd be nice if it just snapped properly, but it doesn't always do that, unfortunately. There we go. Yeah, and we'll just finish it off with a couple of windows. Okay, that'll do. Right, so hopefully this should be straightforward. Out of the end of our furnaces here, and by the way, things are still getting stuck downstairs somewhere, so I've taken those sorters apart and we'll rebuild them probably next episode and try and create something a bit more foolproof, probably with ICs next episode, rather than do it with computers again. Then it's just permanent. So we've got iron coming out of here or anything really, and this part will go underground. I just haven't done it at the moment. Or indeed, stuff we haven't recognised will go that way, out of this, but that's fine. So out comes our ingots that we have recognised. It's going to come into here. We have a chute bin. So first of all, I should just go and grab some cable and make sure that's actually hooked up to the rest of our system, which I can just run from this cable here. So let me just get that sorted. Just some straight cable, nothing excessive here. And let's just bring it out the back corner. There it is. And then straight down. Which is not always the easiest of ways to get things going, but that will work. And then two corner pieces. One there, one there. So we can now manually insert as well. And that's why it needs to go underground. I don't want to keep jumping over that. So if we turn this on, we can now feed in stuff manually into our system. So if we grab some of this silicon, let's just make sure it goes in here. This will tell me whether there's anything stuck in those junctions. So pull the handle, and it's in there. So there's nothing stuck in this system so far. Fine. All the handles are up. So you'll see the sorters are on this side. So the non-sorted stuff, when we pull the handle, the sorted stuff, we're sorting ingots. When we pull the handle, will come out of here, up, over the top and into the next one. So let's see if that actually works. So we should see silicon in here. Yep, we've got silicon. And we can then test, we've got 3 things in there at the moment. So let's just pull the handle again. And it's pretty much instant when it goes through-ish. And silicon's there. So now if we want to put everything back in the auto lathe, yep, there you can see it going through. Okay. And it should come up here, because if you just have a look underneath, I've got a path coming down here underneath them all, and then back up into the entry of the auto lathe, and it's all working. I like it when a build actually works. So all I'm needed to do is probably build a lot more chutes, and for that I need to go and smelt up some more iron. And then all we'll do, and I'll do this actually next, well, between the episodes or next episode or something, but we'll take a line going up and probably above the level of these just by 1, and going this way. And then we can decide where we want it. We can bring it into stackers, we can do anything with it at that point. Not quite so sure. Maybe you guys want to comment. I think we just drop into a bay at the moment, and we'll see about how well that works. So yeah, I quite like the look of this system, and it doesn't mean I don't ever have to really pick up, manually at least, the various ingots that we've got. We can just walk into the stations. They're still relatively unobstructed. The only way you can get them even further is by moving these back, but then you probably have to send things underground and all kinds of other stuff like that. So there's plenty of room in between these stations. You could space them out a little bit more in your case if you wanted to, or indeed add further stations. So we could add the other station that's around here, the tool manufactory, I want to say. Tool maker, yeah, that kind of thing. We can put that on the end, but because that's so little used, you know, that's pretty much fine. The only downside to this system is actually getting these ingots out again. Once they're in the loop, they are somewhere else in the loop. So if you wanted somewhere else to go to, can we actually do that? We'd either have to switch the output of the sorters so that the ingots are not sorted, they're not whitelisted, or we'd have to have some kind of optional switch. The easiest way to get them out of there, I guess, is just to remove this block and then just pull the handle and they'll all fly out just like they would before. It'd be nice if there was a switchable. I mean, you could use conveyor belts, but I don't really want to use them. I quite like the idea of chutes. If there's any kind of switchable output, you'd have to probably pass them through another sorter with some kind of optional stuff on it, and I'm not too keen on that. So for now, yeah, if we to get ingots out, if we get too much in there, then we'd have to consider it. And getting too much in there is another thing that may happen if, for example, let's say we got nearly 200 G of copper in there. Once that hits over 500, I don't know what's actually going to happen to that. Whether it will actually continue to stack inside these machines, or whether it'll show up as a separate stack, or whether there's going to cause problems. It won't accept any more copper until that's sorted. So if any of you know, if you've ever got that much copper, or any material really, do let me know, and I'll be happy to pass it along. Or indeed, people on the channel will probably pass it along to each other. There are certainly heavy debates, shall we say. We won't call them arguments, but heavy debates on people doing various things, usually with my ICs and things like how fast airlocks can actually get to. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this build. It all works as I expected it to, and next episode I think I've just got to really finally solve this underground thing. I'll go down there briefly and just show you what I mean, and again, people will probably comment it down here. There were a couple of comments in a few episodes ago about how we might do this with ICs, but yeah, I'm getting iron lost in here somewhere. It sort of works to a point, and then there's something glitching that shouldn't be glitching. I've got a feeling it's a bug somewhere, and the ICs will let me solve it, because I do have things set up right, and it's just not passing stuff along when it should do. So yeah, I'm gonna have to solve that one. In any case, we've got a fair amount of nice chute work done this episode, and I've got a system now that will loop around any ingots without me having to pick stuff up again, We've obviously got some more over here that we can feed into the system, and getting stuff back out. Unfortunately, at the moment, we have to get stuff out by manually removing one of these. The other thing I could think of is that you add an extra stage to the loop, and that extra stage is like a processing stage. So you could say, you know, if you wanted nickel, then you could just grab it as it actually goes through this extra stage before it loops back around. So instead of going here, you bring it over this way and then through the stage and back around. But yeah, that's up for you guys to have some ideas about. I've got a few thoughts, but I'll leave those till a follow-up episode as to how we actually do that. So if you like this one, feel free to like, subscribe and share. And next episode, we'll get into more of that sorting system underground, and probably put this underground as well. I'll do it between the episodes. And we'll see you next time for some more Stationeers, I think. As always, feel free to check out some other videos on the channel, particularly the new Minecraft stone block. There's going to be lots of intricate stuff that's a lot like Stationeers, I would expect, with various piping systems and various ways of doing that. So if you haven't seen a good modded Minecraft series, that's got a good set of sort of kitchen sink of mods in there that makes it a lot more like a game like this. It's not on Mars, but it is in a world of stone. So yeah, quick plug for the other series there, and see how we get on. All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching.